the boy who loved music. Once upon a time, in a cozy little house nestled on a street lined with big old oak trees, lived a boy named Jackson. Jackson had a smile as bright as the sunrise and a heart that was always humming a tune. More than anything in the world, Jackson loved music. To him, it wasn't just a sound, it was a feeling, a friend, a secret language that only he truly understood. Every morning, the first thing Jackson did was listen. Lying in bed, he would hear the gentle pitter-patter of rain on the roof, sounding like tiny little drum beats. He'd hear his mum's soft voice singing in the kitchen as she made breakfast, and it was a sweet melody. Even the rumble of the trash truck outside sounded like a deep, powerful bass note in his morning symphony. His bedroom was his own personal concert hall. The windowsill was a stage for the crickets that sang their nighttime operas. His favorite stuffed animal, a big fluffy brown bear named Barnaby, was the best audience a musician could ever ask for. His favorite stuffed animal would creak softly, playing a rhythmic tune like a deep, comforting lullaby. One evening, as the sky outside turned a beautiful shade of lavender and orange, Jackson began getting ready for bed. His mum tucked him in, kissed him on the forehead, and said, "Close your eyes, my little musician, and listen to the world's lullaby." Jackson snuggled into his blankets and did just that. He closed his eyes and let his ears do the listening. He heard the soft rustle of the leaves on the oak trees, like a whispery shaker. He heard the distant hoot of an owl and a long, low horn. And he heard his own heartbeat, a steady drum, beat, 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 beat. "Mom," Jackson called softly, "is the world singing to me?" His mum came back to the doorway and smiled. "Yes, my love, it always is. You just have a special gift for hearing it." Jackson was filled with wonder. If the whole world was a song, what kind of song would it be? Was it a happy, bouncy song like the one he and his friends sang on the playground? Or was it a calm, peaceful one like the tune his mum hummed when he was sad? "It's all of them," a tiny voice seemed to whisper in his ear. "The world's song is a mix of every single sound, every single feeling, every single moment." Jackson opened his eyes and looked around his room. He saw a little sunbeam peeking through a gap in his curtains, and it seemed to dance to a joyful, light tune. He saw the shadow of a bird on his wall, and it seemed to fly to a swooping, graceful melody. In his dream, he held a magic baton, and with it, he could conduct the entire world's orchestra. He waved his baton, and the moon began to glow a little brighter, its light playing a gentle piano melody. He waved it again, and the stars began to twinkle, each one a tiny silvery bell. He waved it once more, and the wind outside began to hum a deep, beautiful cello sound. Jackson conducted the Dreamworld Orchestra for what felt like hours, making the rivers gurgle with a bubbling flute sound and the crickets chirp with a quick, snappy violin melody. He even made his own heartbeat slow to a peaceful, sleepy rhythm, a soft, final note to his grand performance. When Jackson woke up the next morning, the sun was streaming through his window, filling his room with golden light. He could still remember the beautiful song he had conducted in his dream. He realized something very special. He didn't need a magic baton to make the world sing. The music was already there, all around him. He just needed to listen, to feel, and to let the music be a part of him. From that day on, Jackson became the boy who not only loved music, but was also its greatest conductor. He walked to school, and the sound of his shoes on the pavement was his own personal beat. He played with his friends, and their laughter was the most joyful chorus he had ever heard. And every night, as he closed his eyes, he listened to the world's lullaby, knowing that the most beautiful music of all was the one he could hear inside his heart. And as Jackson drifted off to sleep, with the sound of the world's gentle music in his ears, he knew he was not just a boy who loved music, but a boy who was music itself. The end. Remember to like, share, and subscribe for more dreamy stories that sprinkle magic into bedtime.